Hi, I'm Joe, and now we'll be talking about slime molds. Slime molds come in many different colors and shapes. Some are tiny little amoeba-like organisms, and some are so big and crazy looking they may have inspired a movie. There are two main groups of slime molds: the plasmodial slime molds and the cellular slime molds. Although they look threatening and scary, slime molds are actually harmless unless you eat them. So unless they're mistaken for food, and no one's going to mistake a slime mold for food, they can only harm small microorganisms and plants. Plants are at risk if the slime mold covers the plant and blocks photosynthesis. Also, a group of small microscopic slime molds, known as plasmodiophorans, are parasites that cause clubber disease in cabbages and powdery scab disease in potatoes. Microorganisms are slime mold food. Both types of slime molds eat microorganisms, and plasmodial slime molds also eat decaying plant and animal particles. Cellular slime molds eat through a process called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is a process when a bacteria is absorbed in a vesicle called a phagosome is created around it. The phagosome allows pathogenic bacteria to be killed and digested without any harm to the slime mold. Plasmodial slime molds reproduce by forming a stalk called sporangia. The sporangia releases spores which produce amoeboids, which then eat and reproduce through mitosis. After a while, plasmodial slime molds start to form amongst the amoeboids. They form in two main ways. The first way is when amoeboids become sexual reproduction cells called gametes. When two gametes fuse together, a new plasmodial slime mold is formed. The second way is when the amoeboid just keeps growing larger and larger until it's a plasmodial slime mold. When a plasmodial slime mold runs on food, it can produce a structure called a sclerotium. The sclerotium allows the slime mold to survive for long periods of time. Inside the sclerotium, the slime mold divides into numerous cells, each with 0 to 4 nuclei. The average fully formed plasmodial slime mold has millions of nuclei, which means there could be many cells inside the sclerotium. When conditions become favorable again, the sclerotium will open and release the cells, which will turn into individual slime molds. The other slime molds, called cellular slime molds, differ in several ways from plasmodial variety. For starters, they are much smaller. Cellular slime molds live their entire lives as tiny amoeba-like organisms called mixed amoebas. While conditions are favorable, mixed amoebas can eat and split indefinitely. However, when food is scarce and mixed amoeba is starving, the organism will begin releasing a chemical called CAMP, lowercase c, capital A-M-P. This chemical causes other mixed amoebas to move towards the starving mixed amoeba, and for the cell membranes to become sticky. Sticky mixed amoebas will group together in pseudoplasmodium or fake plasmodium. Pseudoplasmodium will travel as one organism, although all the individual cells are still separate. When the pseudoplasmodium reaches a source of food, the front cells will form into a stalk and die from apoptosis or programmed cell death, while the other mixed amoebas will travel up the stalk and form into spores. After a while, the spores will be released, and they'll be spread over the nearby area, and then if a spore lands in a good environment, it will form into a new mixed amoeba to repeat the process. Sexual reproduction can also occur among mixed amoebas. When two mixed amoebas collide, they'll merge to form a larger cell called a zygote. The zygote will begin to feed and absorb all the other mixed amoebas in the area until there's no more mixed amoebas nearby. The zygote will then form a cellulose-rich wall called a macrocyst. Inside the macrocyst, the zygote will split in both mitosis and meiosis until there is a large quantity of cells inside. The macrocyst will then split and release a large group of mixed amoebas. Scientists place a slime mold in an area of oat flakes shaped like the cities around Tokyo. The slime mold in one day made a series of tunnels that closely resembled the Japanese railroad system that some of the world's best engineers spent years planning and constructing, and in some places the slime mold did it better. Slime molds are not classified in any of the main eukaryotic kingdoms. Unlike animals, they have cell walls. Unlike plants, they have centrioles. And they move and lack chitin in their cell walls, so they're not fungi. This means that they're in the kingdom of Protista, which is the kingdom that all eukaryotes that don't fit in other kingdoms fit in. Thank you for watching my presentation.